I wish everyone a happy life. The story begins with a young boy playing blood dry with a fat guy's gang. This is our main male. After the transfer, before reincarnation, he's a real gangster. Hit the north. But when he got hurt, our great gangster CA, killed by his own men. His name is Park Kong-hae. You were betrayed by your own men, and he kills them. Let him smoke before sending him on his way. The cigarette is lit. This may be the last time in my life you're allowed to smoke. I remember the day before when I was in high school. He doesn't lack anything from fitness, physical force, punching qualities, a star SAO. People always say he's a promising SAO in the World Boxing Village. But he couldn't control his eagerness to win, fighting all day, and eventually became a major gangster. One fight, he made his arm. I'm not strong enough to fight anymore. And that's it. I just regret it. I wish I could do it all over again. I'm going to be a professional boxer. I'll chase my dreams. Just as he dropped his cigarette. At the same time, he was bleeding. But suddenly this time, he heard in his ear the strange words, Callie. This idiot, it's a shame to have a boxer like you. Hey Callie, wake up, this son of a bitch is dead. This son of a bitch didn't die because of me. Let's go. They call me Callie. Why this teenager? They were beaten to death by the Kia kids. His name is Callie. We've been reincarnated into this boy. He slowly opened his eyes and woke up flat. He looked at his face like a lost soul. What is this? I've obviously been stabbed. But I'm not dead. I am who Callie is. A few hours later, a manager is focused. The homeless teenagers again. The loser will have to go mining. Of course, if you win, you can stay here. Stay in Boxer Ages Training Institute. If you don't want to go to the mines, then do your best to practice. Now let's listen carefully to the match object. This person is the Ninga Warden, TOS and me Rose, Undert and Bazom Kizo and Damien. Next Sonic and Callie. A week later, the teams will compete against each other. These guys saw that they were all fighting weak guys. Is extremely contemptuous. What is this? It's too light. The weak ones are the opposite. Goddamn wants us dead. Pairing weak students with elite students. That's enough to see the point. In the 2nd century, the mines were an extremely dangerous place. Many people have died in accidents or diseases related to the lungs. The environment here is even worse than that. It doesn't matter what. I have to avoid going to the mines. He was thinking when the guards called him. It startled him. Callie, follow me. I've got a job for you. That kid got special treatment. Even trained individually, and still can't keep up with people. Move the scene to this side. I wrote your name on the list. Remove, give to the owner. Then why? This kid is calm today. Beyond my predictions. You can't be one. The boxer is too small. If you go to the mines, you'll get the same results. We'll die soon. That's right. With this body, I'll be dead in less than a year. I will try to convince the owner to sell you. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm playing next week. Hearing Callie say that surprised him. Are you still Callie? So, if it was normal, you would have been crying. Suddenly, he shouted. Management teacher. I'm going to be a boxer. His eyes right now, full of confidence and determination. Of someone who has just been transferred. Ha ha ha, what else can I say? If you change your mind, you can tell me at any time. After talking to him, he left. He said he was Callie. Of course not. I've just been reincarnated. If I hadn't been a boxer in my previous life, I will do it in this life, by all means. Not long ago, I was a gangster. Park Kong-hae died. Now there is a new life. I have a chance, too, with the body of a boy named Callie Weak. A chance to live my unfinished dream again. But this body is physically weak. Both skeletal and physical are too poor body development and weak fists. More. Callie seems to have been regularly bullied by his friends. It's obviously because of this weak and shallow body. Give yourself a second chance with this body. He was just thinking. Someone called him from behind. Ra's friends used to rape him. Back to the big guys with muscle spikes. Again SAO. Before he could react, he got a bump. Face jaw. I haven't liked a kid like you since. Even what the guards call you. I don't like it either. Why did you get involved again? Is it because your father was a champion? He just said he beat him mercilessly. Death is over. What else, you weak boy? The guy behind the CA stared at him. What a pathetic child. Callie stood still and looked straight at them. Normal people just close their eyes and fight. Dare to look at me again today. Resilient, the owner of the real poor body. Hey, there's only a week left. I can't see this face anymore. Callie also spoke up this time. That's right. You mean you're going to be dragged to the mines, right? When he heard him, he got mad. Go to this son of a bitch. A giant punch rushed straight at him. That big bastard's fist. With this body, it's impossible. Suddenly right now, that big guy's fists started slowing down. What is this? This punch is something very slow. The eye of Callie, our male lead, has suddenly changed. That he had momentarily dodged one of his rights. In the amazement of those guys, punch through the ear. I can avoid it. This feeling is SAO. The one in the distance watching. I can't believe my eyes right now. What's wrong with this kid? The angry man continued to run. This is not an illusion. I see it very clearly. His movements are really slow. The trajectory of this fist myself can be seen easily. If we can see the attack, we can fight back. Use experience from a previous life. He ducked his head gracefully. Then, he keeps punching south of us. But he can dodge it gently. An artistic way. He dodged Callie and approached him very quickly. Was within range of the attack. Callie used it all on this one punch. His determined face with a sharp look in his eyes. When his defense is no more. So this is the opportunity. He aimed directly at the danger and threw a right. One full force hit the target. The fat guy took a hit that he couldn't dodge. This one scene. The guys standing outside couldn't help but be surprised. What just happened? Suddenly, he grabbed his collar. This time Callie ate one of his punches. Because he doesn't have the power. So punching them is like a stainless steel mosquito bite. It's something. You're massaging me, doing all your soul. That is. Our male lead got a punch from that fat guy. Maybe he's still a loser. What are you lying about? Let's go. The brothers beat him up and they left, leaving him squashed on the ground with injuries. This guy seems to be very interested in us. He's always very observant when he fights. Callie lies on the ground with her injuries covered. Ha, last time I didn't notice. In boxing, there's something as important as weight. It's also physical and nervous reflexes. I can see every grain of sand falling and follow its trajectory of motion. It's a great reflex to avoid it all. Those fists are something that's worth using. That's great. I don't think I need to go to the mines anymore. I will win and I will survive. Moved the scene to 25 earlier in this era. The Gladiator Rebellion. Happening more and more. Serious situation. It's hard for the regular army to deal with. The king saw that he could no longer control it. So he had to abolish slavery for gladiators and boxers born from here. You can only use your fists to fight. It makes the audience look very excited. That's what I write about boxers in this world. And this body. Back to the present. Morning. And all the kids started running. We ourselves are among the many. My health is very weak, so it's very easy to measure boards in a California punch. If you're exhausted, you can slow down. Why am I okay? No matter what, I must also survive in this place. If there is no power, it will not survive. Okay, homework's over. Everybody stop. We're not breathing right now. Even if you drink or smoke, I can run much better than this. The police officer looked at him with a different look. A boy who's often left behind. We're in the middle of the line now. If you can do that sooner, then we've got you. What happened to this kid, after all? The guards listened to the two men who raped Callie before. Why is it still running after being hit for a fight? So, did you find it a little strange since the head injury? What's Kalia's head? You mean Sao? The warden heard you. That's why Callie was beaten by another group. Yeah, I think he was hit harder than usual. I thought he was dead. Because there's blood everywhere, both head and nose. So the boy changed after he was near death. I need to keep an eye on it for a while. I get it. Now you guys run another 50 laps. Yes, warden. Move the scene to a personal training session in the afternoon. Everyone's training hard to avoid being taken to the mines. I can't lose them either. I also have to try to practice to raise your power. He's training with the straw man, but this training didn't work. This weak body, it cannot cause damage to the opponent. Then you can beat the opponent. My jaw must be aimed at this weakness when fighting. The shoulder is the only place that can do great damage. Because it creates a shock to the skull. All we have to do is beat them up. So we need to aim right at that place. There was a guard coming up to him. Callie, you are doing. I'm in the middle of a training session and I know that. But why don't you practice? Like the others in our camp. So we couldn't do any other kind of training in camp. This kid, we were boxers before you were born. You know the consequences. I didn't listen to your instructions before. In this world, boxing is only blackjack style. Lack of technique and ingenuity. But it's compensated for by raw muscle strength. In my world, it's kind of like a heavyweight fight. I've trained this way before. As usual exercises. It doesn't work with this weak body. Lift the wood and repeat it away. It's a surprise command. Now, there's a hand on my shoulder. Callie, you learned it from your father. He just nodded in agreement. If so, you can practice that way in this camp. This is a one-time champions type of training, so there must be something special. Okay, you can keep practicing. Kavrin is the champion, but he's not a boxer. He used to teach Callie other practices later, no matter what. He also changed after he almost died. Now I see he's really different. More passionate and determined than ever. The whole day made him tired. I can't handle my opponent because my strength is too weak. Hungry. I want to eat something sweet all afternoon. What to eat, right? At this time, he found himself sitting under an apple tree. So, we ourselves spread out and eat to eat. If you have this apple, you are no longer afraid of hunger. I was eating well when a voice came out. Hey, what are you doing? There's a girl standing under the tree looking at him. She's a lady of nobility. You're not going to explain. Pick one for me and roll down here quickly. I want to eat too. Here's the lady. When she received the apple, the girl took a bite. That's good, but are you a slave in a training camp? Don't tell me you don't know. This garden is owned by a noble family. If you are caught, you will not be beaten. I didn't know about this. If I get hurt, I can't. To compete, ha ha ha. You don't seem to know who I am. My name is Angela Ages. My father is Baron Garden Phages. He is also your boss. Now tell me your name, slave. My name is Callie. Potassium Sao good. I'll pretend I didn't see you today. Because of the apple you gave me. If you get caught again, I will punish you myself. Now get out of here, before anyone else catches it. Thank you, lady. 2 is too dangerous. I almost died trying this. Look at his tiny silhouette. He's a little too weak for a boxing slave. His name is Callie Sao Callie. I will remember this name in the coming days. Our main male, based on previous life experience. Start frantically training. His training method. Not at all like slaves. In here, you're more into boxing than carrying. Like the Kia guys. This is the guy I beat up before. He's staring at him. This kid's changed. It's getting everyone's attention. With practice, that weird episode SAO. That day his fists could even touch me. Fortunately, it has no power. If I continue like this, I will die. I thought he was angry. He threw the log on the ground, a fucking beam. Don't the guards come here? The boss called earlier, so they left. It's all gone now. Test your opponent's abilities before there's no harm. I'll tell you who's in charge here. When he finished, he came. Our main Callie Nom game. Let's start with this guy first. I'll plow your face to the ground. A sudden punch of his that Callie was able to dodge. He was very surprised. Dodge success. Callie turned her legs back to face him. His fists flew to his face at a very fast speed, and then a punch went straight to his chin. He didn't have time to resist. Just in time for the fist to stop a little further from him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so focused that I didn't know you were standing next to me. I hit you SAO. Oh no, I'm fine. Callie spoke with close eyes. Lucky not to hit. You shouldn't get hurt before the game. That's right, his eyes and his words made him almost pee in his pants. It's sweating. If you don't know, I'll practice again. You son of a bitch, before I was a gangster. I've met guys like you. The kind that tries to be strong by squeezing the weaker. I will definitely beat you up. Callie has left, but he remains motionless. You still feel the trembling. The man here has just been watching. Not with the male lead. We're also getting drunk exercising. Every move of the Kia guys, he's got a good eye. The blow was not a coincidence. And then he goes to the big guy. You look so pale, Sonic. Are you scared of what the fuck you're talking about? I'm still happy because my opponent is a kid. The potassium is weak. There's nothing better than that. Yes, Callie has changed normally. It's always moaning and annoying us. He was eventually beaten up every day. But it's been different lately. I won't live like I did before. His eyes are full of determination. You'd better be careful coming in and not relax. Be wary of it. Even Torres is interested in Callie. When he finished, his attitude changed. But Callie is still Callie. Don't worry about this idiot. Just send it to the mines. Of course, that's my job. Move to the GA dollhouse. They're sitting around a round table for a meeting. It seems like preparation work for the ongoing match. It's convenient. That's right. They're still taking root on the training ground. There's a guy on the list named Torres. Is he the promising factor you mentioned? Not how he is. This person is Gadance. He's got a balance of strength and agility. It's also very aggressive and technically skillful. Besides, he's got sharp eyes, and you can overcome your own weaknesses. He can even aim for the championship. This competition, I'm looking forward to it, Annika. There's something I want to ask you about. What is it, you know? The training center's reputation has declined. Our treasury is in trouble, and had to put half the slaves in the mines due to lack of. So, I'd like to invite more civilians as spectators to make some extra money. That guy must have missed boxing too. They'll love it. Can you show them a good fight? Yes, I'm sure he could be my master. But he's also an incompetent person. The reason for the reputation of the training center dropped off the top. It's because of the greed of that element. Prayers has run the CAI training center for 15 years. For the first year, he was able to maintain the boxers of previous lives. The next 15, he made them fight too much and make them die. This land is a dry land, and there's only a small amount of land that's used for farming. So he kept the family income from the training center. But that's not enough. If only he hadn't sent them 2 years ago. Young boxer to the national boxing tournament. These are the boxers I trust the most. I'm going to win the post office Niga. Then they were all seriously injured. I can't play boxing anymore. If he doesn't do that, then the center can rise. My dad also wants to see the game. Can you prepare a place for me? That girl is Angelia. It's not that I don't like to watch. Because the game was too barbaric. Or SAO, sometimes you can feel a little barbaric. But that, it might be too stimulating for the lady. Stimulation means fun, right? Dad, I really want to see it. I'm not interested in these kinds of games, but that. I want to see that boy fight RASAO with my own eyes. Move the scene to match day. In the audience now, there's a lot of people. A small foot slowly stepping out. That's Callie. He's preparing for the final match. He's coming out of the player's preparation. The shadow of a small player. With his eyes and determination, he wanted to win. All to prove the proof. Dear everyone, this time has finally come.